Every year, more than 20 million tons of sunflower oil are consumed worldwide. From home kitchens to the large food industry, every second, almost 650 litres of this oil are used somewhere on the planet. With the global market valued at over $23 billion, this golden liquid is a silent giant on supermarket shelves, being essential in various countries. But do you know how it is made? How the seeds of a flower that turns in search of the sun become one of the most consumed oils in the world? See in this video all the stages of sunflower oil production, from the harvesting of seeds to the final packaging. It all begins in the vast agricultural fields where sunflowers are grown. These impressive plants are not just beautiful, they are true biological oil factories. For months, they absorb sunlight, water, and soil nutrients, concentrating energy in their seeds. The moment of harvest is crucial. When the large flower heads, now heavy and bent towards the ground, dry and acquire a dark brown color on the back, it is the sign that the seeds are mature and ready. Tractors and harvesters spring into action, moving methodically through the fields. These machines are designed to cut the sunflower heads and, through a threshing mechanism, separate the seeds from other plant materials. What results is an avalanche of small seeds. As soon as they are harvested, the seeds begin their journey to the processing plant. Loaded trucks arrive, and the first stop is the scale, to record the weight of the load. Before being processed, they need to undergo a thorough cleaning. Equipment like vibrating sieves and vacuums remove larger and smaller impurities. After cleaning, a very important step follows: dehulling. Sunflower seeds have an outer shell that, although rich in fiber, contains little oil. Keeping it during extraction would reduce the efficiency of the process. Therefore, the seeds go through dehulling machines, which break the shell through impact or friction. An aspiration system separates the kernels, which are the oil-rich part. The kernels, which are the oil-rich part of the lighter shells. These shells are not wasted. They can be burned in boilers to generate energy for the factory itself, or sold as animal feed. Now, we have the seeds cleaned and ready. The next step is to prepare them for oil extraction. They are ground in large rollers or mills. This grinding breaks the cell walls of the seeds, facilitating the release of the oil. The resulting product then goes through a process called cooking or conditioning. It is heated in large tanks with agitators under controlled temperatures. We reach the heart of the process, the oil extraction. In modern industry, two main methods are used, often combined. The first is mechanical pressing. The heated mass is fed into continuous screw presses, also known as expeller presses. Imagine a giant screw rotating inside a perforated cylinder. As the mass is pushed by the screw, the pressure progressively increases, squeezing the oil out through the small holes in the cylinder. The liquid that drips out is the crude sunflower oil, dark in color and with a strong characteristic aroma. The solid material that remains, called press cake, still contains a residual amount of oil. To extract as much oil as possible, especially in large industrial operations, the press cake moves to the second phase, solvent extraction. The most commonly used solvent is hexane, a petroleum derivative with a high capacity to dissolve oils. The cake is placed in an extractor and washed with hexane in countercurrent. The solvent washes the cake, dissolving and carrying with it the remaining oil. At the end of this process, a meal practically free of oil remains, which is dried to remove all the solvent and sold as a high-protein product for the animal feed industry. The mixture of oil and hexane, called micellar, goes to a distiller. As hexane has a much lower boiling point than oil, it evaporates easily when heated. What remains in the distiller is the rest of the crude oil. At this point, all the oil extracted from both pressing and solvent extraction is combined. However, it contains various impurities. Therefore, it needs to go through a refining process. The first stage of refining is degumming. The crude oil is mixed with water or a weak acid and heated. Then it can be separated by centrifugation. The degummed oil is treated with an alkaline solution, usually caustic soda. This substance reacts with the free fatty acids, which cause acidity and unwanted flavor, turning them into a type of soap known as soap stock. Again, a high-speed centrifuge separates this soap from the oil. The oil is now neutralized, but still has an intense yellow color. The next step is bleaching or clarification. The oil is heated and mixed with activated clays or activated charcoal. These materials have a porous surface that absorbs, that is, traps on its surface the color pigments and other residual impurities. After a contact time, the mixture passes through filters that retain the clay along with the pigments, resulting in oil with a much lighter and clearer color. The last, and perhaps one of the most important stages of refining, is deodorization. The clarified oil is heated to high temperatures under vacuum. The vacuum drastically reduces the boiling point of the volatile compounds responsible for odor and flavor. A steam injection carries these compounds out of the oil. This process removes any residual odor or flavor, resulting in a completely neutral product, which is what most consumers seek for general culinary use. In addition to removing odors, deodorization also eliminates any pesticide residues and hexane solvent that may have remained. Finally, after going through this complex process of cleaning, extraction, and refining, the sunflower oil is ready. But before being packaged, it undergoes one last rigorous series of tests in the quality control laboratory. Parameters such as color, taste, odor, acidity, and peroxide index are analyzed. Only after the final approval from the laboratory is the oil released for packaging. Automated machines fill the bottles, which can be made of petty plastic or other materials, with precision. The caps are screwed on, labels containing nutritional information, expiration date, and batch number are applied, and the bottles are boxed and palletized, ready to be distributed to logistics centers, supermarkets, and finally, to your kitchen. And that was today's video. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel.